I will come to you and fulfill my good promise. I will come to you and fulfill my good promise. Whenever you become frustrated by something going on in your life and you begin to wonder if God will keep His word to you, remember and have faith that God will be true to His word and never lead you astray, and He will give you peace and comfort that cannot be shaken. He is the God who cares, and He will provide what you need at just the right time. So God says that He will definitely fulfill all the promises that He has made to you. So fear not, trust in the Lord. A blessed Friday to you. Shall we start with the lessons? Do you all have your textbooks with you, girls? If not, please go and bring it. I want you to have your textbooks so that it will be easy for you to follow it when you watch this video. We have already seen the meaning of money, the definitions given by Crowther and the definition given by Walker for money. We have seen the evolution of money. We saw the barter system, the metallic standard, the gold standard, the silver standard, the paper currency standard, the plastic money, and cryptocurrency. Today, let us see the functions of money. The functions of money. So, the main functions of money can be classified into four categories. The main functions of money can be categorized into four: the primary function, the secondary function, the contingent function, and other functions. This is an important 5-mark question. If it is asked as a 5-mark question, you have to write all these headings: primary, secondary, contingent, other functions, and then you have to explain all these side headings. Okay, you have around 12 points. You have to write everything if it is a 5-mark question. In case if it is a 2 marks question, they will just ask you to explain the primary function or the secondary function. They will be specific in asking. Explain the primary functions of money or the contingent functions of money. So if it is asked as 2 marks or 3 marks, they will ask you to explain only one side heading. So if it is a 5-mark question, you have to write all these. Okay. So let us see this. The primary functions can be categorized. Under primary functions, you have two: the medium of exchange and measure of value. So these two are primary functions. In your textbook, you have the same picture, but it is titled as primary functions. So don't think that all these four functions are primary functions. Only these two are primary. These two are secondary functions. So under primary functions, we have money as medium of exchange and money as measure of value. So what do you mean by medium of exchange? In case you are going for shopping, or you're going to a hotel, how do you buy the products or how do you buy the commodity? If you're ordering for dosa or if you're ordering for fried rice, after you have that, what do you give them? What do you give the person who is serving there? Do you give a coin, or do you give a shell, or do you give a piece of paper? What do you give? Are you able to understand my question? Whenever you buy a commodity or when you have a get a service, how do you pay them back? How do you pay them? Yes, you pay them back as money. When you get a commodity or service, you need to give them money. So the first and the foremost function of money serves as a medium of exchange. So this is considered as the basic function of money. And money has the quality of general acceptability. What do you mean by general acceptability? Anybody accepts money and they give them their product. When you go to a shop, you give them money. Immediately, the person there accepts the money. So, money has the quality of general acceptability, and all exchanges take place in terms of money. Whenever there is an exchange, whether you take an auto or a bus, or you go to a hotel, or you go to a beauty parlor, you get a service or you get a commodity and pay them back as money. So, on account of the use of money, the transaction can be divided into two parts. The transaction can be divided into two parts. One is called the sale and the other one is called as the purchase. What do you mean by sale? What do you mean by sale? Money is obtained through sale. Whenever you sell a product, you get money. So, money is obtained through sale of goods and services. So, this is known as sale. The other one is called as the purchase. What do you mean by purchase? Money is obtained to buy goods and services. Whenever you want to buy something, you give money. So, money is used as to purchase something. So, money is used as sale as well as purchase. Thus, in the modern exchange system, money acts as an intermediary in sales and purchase. Whenever you sell something, you get money, and whenever you purchase something, you give money. So, money acts as the intermediary in sales and purchases. So, this is the first step, the foremost function of money, medium of exchange. Next one is measure of value. This is the second most important function of money. It helps us to measure the value of goods and services. Suppose you go to a shop, you see two chudidars there. One is 500 and the other one is 100. Which one will you buy? You will go for 500. Why do you buy a churidar worth 500? You think the churidar which is 500 rupees is much better in quality than the 100 rupees. So how do you decide that? How do you decide on the quality? You decide it based on the terms of money. So based on the money value of the product, you decide which good is better. So money acts as a measuring rod. Money acts as a measuring rod. So money helps you to find the value of goods and services. In other words, the purchases of goods and services are expressed in terms of money. Whatever product you buy from the market, it has a tag which is expressed in terms of money. So that is how you come to know which is better quality. So money helps you to measure the value of goods. Since all the values are expressed in terms of money, it is easier to determine the rate of exchange between various types of commodities in the community. So money helps you to measure the value of goods. Which good is better in quality? You measure it in terms of money. So money acts as a measuring rod. So first one, money acts as a medium of exchange. Second one, money helps you to measure of values. Let's go on to the secondary function. So look at this picture. Here it is money is used as a medium of exchange. Here, whenever you go to a shop, you find the price board there. Each product is measured in terms of money. So money acts as a measure of value. Secondary function, you have a picture here, store of value. And the next one is standard of deferred payment. The last one is means of transferring purchasing power. So let's go on to the secondary function. So under secondary function, the first one is store of value. This is found on page number 79. So in the past, when commodities were directly exchanged for commodities, people stored their wealth in the form of goods like cattle and grain. That is, just recall the barter system. If people wanted to store the surplus or the extra grains or extra which they have, how do they store it? They store it in the form of cattle and grains. Is it easy to store cattle and grains? Without perishable items cannot be stored. But soon they found that it was difficult to preserve them for long. They were not able to preserve it for a very long time. They could be stolen or destroyed easily and quickly. Moreover, it can be stolen. Whatever you store it in the form of cattle, each time you cannot be counting the number of cattle or each time you need to clean the cattle shed. So it was very, very difficult to store, okay, the surplus. They cannot store it in the form of money. They had to store it in the form of cattle or grains. Later on, people started storing their wealth in the form of gold, silver ornaments, or coins. And this was also not very safe, because gold and silver cannot be stored very safely and securely. But nowadays, after the invention of money, people are able to store money. People are able to store money. How can they store their money? They can have it as currency at home, or if they feel that home is not safe, they can go and deposit the money as savings in the bank. So today, what are people doing? They can store wealth in any quantity and for any period without any kind of risk and insecurity. They can deposit money in banks for use in future or at the time of emergency. So money serves as a store of value. Money acts as a store of value. So this is the most important function of money. Under secondary function, the first one is store of value. Savings done in terms of commodities were not permanent. But with the invention of money, this difficulty has now disappeared, and savings are now done in terms of money. So money also serves as an excellent store of wealth, as it can be easily converted into other marketable assets such as land, machinery, and plants. In case you want to convert the money into land, it is very easy. So money also serves as an excellent store of wealth. Next one, standard of deferred payment. What do you mean by deferred payment? Making payment in the future is only called as deferred payment. You buy something today and you say that you give it at a later date. So you pay it later. That is only called as deferred payment. So borrowing and lending were difficult problems under the barter system. So under barter system, it was very difficult to borrow and lend. In the absence of money, the borrowed amount could not be returned. Since they did not have money, they could not return the borrowed amount. So the borrowed amount had to be returned only in terms of goods and services. So this was another difficulty in the barter system. Okay. So whatever they borrowed, they were not able to give it in the form of money. They had to return it only in the form of goods and services. So what happened later on after the invention of money? But the modern money economy has greatly facilitated the borrowing and lending process. Now we are able to borrow and we are able to lend because we have money. So whenever we borrow or lend, we have something called as the rate of interest. So in other words, money now acts as a standard of deferred payment. So whatever you get, you can pay it even in the future in terms of money. But those days in barter economic system, that was not possible. Next one is means of transferring purchasing power. Means of transferring purchasing power. What do you mean by that? In the barter economy, it was not possible to transfer values of things like house, tree, a garden, etc. So in those days, in the barter economic system, it was not possible to transfer. That is, transfer means I am transferring my property to someone else. In those days, it was not possible because they did not have money. And moreover, it was not able to transfer something from one place to another. It was not possible to transfer my property from one place to another. It was also not possible to calculate their values in the terms of other commodities. You cannot calculate the values in the terms of other commodities also. But nowadays, after the invention of money, we can sell movable or immovable property. Movable means things which can be transferred, immovable things which cannot be moved. It cannot be moved from one person to one place to another. So nowadays, after the invention of money, movable, immovable property at one place can be bought from another place also. Okay, suppose if you want to buy a property from Kodaikanal or if you want to buy a property from Bangalore, it's possible because you can buy the property and you can transfer the amount. You can do the transfer by means of check, a draft or money order. In those days, it was not possible. So, after the invention of money, it has become easy to transfer money from one place to another. So, thus, money has facilitated the transfer of value from one place to another. So, because of the invention of money, you are able to transfer the purchasing power. So, follow your book. The field of exchange also went on extending with the growing economic development. After the development only, we started doing the import and export. The exchange of goods is now extended to distant lands. We not only exchange goods within our country, but we also do exchanges across the ocean to distant lands. So it is therefore felt necessary to transfer the purchasing power from one place to another. So the purchasing power is transferred from one place to another by the invention of money. Hope you understood this. Nowadays, in those days, it was difficult to purchase goods from outside, but nowadays it is easy. We can buy a good or we can buy a property from outside and we can easily transfer the money. This is only called as transferring of purchasing power. So these are the first two functions of money, the primary function and the secondary functions.